What's going on, guys? Another beautiful morning after a big storm. It's been storming like every day here lately. It's hard to even find time to mow. But anyway, I got a little project working on here. So our neighbors decided that they're going to move and they're going to travel the country. And they had this old finish mower laying in the barn back there. He actually got it from the previous owner that had that property next door before they did. And when the previous owners sold and moved, they just left this sitting there. And the new owners who are getting ready to move now, they never did use it. They've got some big zero turns and what have you. So anyway, they asked us if we wanted it, and I was like, sure. But it's going to take some work to get it going. You can see where all of the framework is bent. Look at that. It's all bent and twisted up. These top braces here are bent and twisted up. It looks like that at one point in time somebody had this hooked onto their tractor and they backed into something. You can see this adjustment screw back here, this bolt. Look at that. Looks like the letter U almost. So I mean, it's in pretty rough shape. Some of the spacers are missing from the wheel spindles, and it's been sitting out in the weather, so it's kind of old and rusty looking. But I don't think it's actually a very old mower. This one is a TaylorMade, which is a brand that I hadn't heard of until now. But I noticed that Rural King and some other places sell these. And if you buy this mower right here, which is a 72-inch mower, if you buy this one brand new, it's about $2,800 right now. So kind of an expensive piece. If we can get it working again, it'll be a pretty nice thing to have around here. So I guess what we're going to do is disassemble this front part, try to take everything apart, and I don't know if haven't decided yet if we're going to try and source new pieces or maybe just bend these back into position. But I mean, obviously this is some pretty thick bar steel, so it's going to take some ingenuity if we want to bend that back into shape. We do have a shop press over there, so I thought about maybe taking these apart and setting them in the press, rigging up a little jig, maybe try to press them back into shape. I don't know, we'll figure something out, but I want to see if we can get this thing going, because it would be pretty interesting, you know. All right, that should be the last one. So all that framework or bracing or whatever you want to call it is off the top now. It was so mangled up that we had to use a little bit of persuasion. But we got all that off, and you know, this is like 1/2-inch material. It's pretty thick stuff, so probably won't be able to bend that back out straight again. But these top braces here, and this is some thinner material, so I'm hoping that maybe we can stick this in the press over there and straighten it up, you know, at least enough to be able to keep using that. But these bottom sections, probably going to have some made. Or see if we can go to Tractor Supply or someplace like that. Rural King, you know, maybe try to source some new ones. Who knows? We'll have to figure something out with that. But that's the main thing for now, is getting that all straightened back up. We're going to have to get some new pins. Look at this one over here. I don't know if you can tell. Camera's probably not going to show it, but that thing is really bent. So we're gonna have to get some new Cat 1 pins to put on there too. But yeah, we'll get it going. We're gonna refurbish this thing and see if we can get it rolling again. Just gonna take some work. Okay guys, so here's the progress that we've made so far. My dad was able to heat this up and put it in the shop press for me and straighten up this bracing and framework up here on the top, and got it straight enough that it was able to go back on there actually. And then while he was doing that, my son and I changed out the gear oil in the gearbox, and he got up under there, my son did, with a knife and cut all the baling twine and all the junk that was caught up in the spindles, cut all that out. sharpened the blades, went to the store and got some new wheel spindle spacers so that the deck sits even now. Greased everything, all the grease fittings have been greased, and got some new hardware for the adjustment for the belt tension. What else? We kind of just went over it and refurbished the whole thing, serviced it all. Now I've got a couple of belts here I'm going to put on it. These were hard to find. I went to 3 different auto parts stores, couldn't get one. So I had to order these from a place up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and took a few days to get them. Hopefully they fit okay. They look like they were the same length as the ones I took off of here, but I was surprised at how hard it was to find a couple of belts to fit this thing. So anyway, I guess now I'm going to put the belts on, and then it should be ready to try out. See if it'll cut grass. So I got the new belts on, both sides. Double check the PTO shaft to make sure it was in there good and solid, so it won't hopefully come out. I was actually kind of worried about that because I have the Pat's quick hitch system on there, which adds several inches of length there to your drawbars, or your lift arms, I mean. And I was kind of worried that the shaft on the PTO here would be too short, but it seems to hook up just fine. It clicked into position, so I think I'm good to go. I got to put these safety covers back on over the belts. I'm going to take this clevis off of my drawbar to give some more space there for the PTO shaft to go up and down. And I may end up having to take that drawbar out altogether because I don't want that PTO shaft rubbing on it, obviously. But hey, let's take it out in the grass and see if this thing will work. How about that? The old girl did a pretty good job. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad for an old, worn out, beat up finish mower. In fact, where we sharpen those blades, it's actually doing a better job than our zero turn right here at this very moment. We've been using that zero turn all season. Usually by the end of the season, the blades start to get in pretty rough shape. But yeah, this thing's doing a good job. I mean, this grass is probably, I don't know, it's probably been growing for about a week and a half now. We've had a lot of rain, so. But I mean, I'm impressed. I think it's doing a pretty awesome job for what it is. And of course, I haven't even really adjusted the height or anything yet, but nice. Really, really nice. So now we just got to put these safety covers back on over the belts. And I might do a little bit more adjustment on my hitch. Just a little bit more, maybe adjust the top length just a hair. But I mean, this thing is kind of designed to float on the ground anyway. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it's going to be a really awesome addition to the fleet out here. This one is 72 inches. Our zero turn is 60 inches. So, you know, I can use this to knock out the big fields real quick. Use the zero turn up around the house, around the trees and stuff, and then use this out in the field. Awesome. Thanks to my neighbor for giving us this. I probably have, I'd say about $90 invested in this. All the hardware I bought, and the belts, and fluid. You know, we had some grease already. I probably got about 90 bucks invested in it, you know? And like I said, this mower right here is $2,800 new over at the Rural King. So thanks to my neighbor. I really appreciate this. Hope they have a really great time traveling the country after they move out of here. We're gonna miss them. But this is awesome. I'm gonna go do some mowing. We'll talk to you guys later.